What a packed hour of news, analysis. News 1, rebels from the Rwandan-backed M23 group have entered Bukavu, the capital of South Kivu province in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, after a rapid advance south in recent days. M23 fighters entered the city's Kazingu and Bagira zone and late on Friday were advancing towards the center of the city of about 1 million people. Gunfire rang out but the rebel forces encountered little resistance. Shops and businesses had long closed and frightened civilians fled. Bukavu previously fell to soldiers who deserted the Congolese army in 2004 and the capture of the city would in effect give the M23 total control of the Lake Kivu area. Its capture would represent an unprecedented expansion of territory under the M23's control since the latest insurgency started in 2022, and deal a further blow to Kinshasa's authority in the east. Two residents of Bagira, in the northern part of Bukavu, said they had seen rebels on the streets and no sign of fighting. Their uniforms were different. We had been prepared since the daytime for their arrival. The FARDC, army soldiers, had left. There were no clashes, said resident Helene, who described watching the rebels pass by her window. Hours earlier, the rebels seized the airport in the town of Kavumu, where Congolese troops had been positioned. The Congolese army spokesperson Sylvani Kinj said troops had pulled back after the seizure of the airport. He did not say where they had withdrawn to, but Congolese and Burundian troops were seen leaving Bukavu's main military camp, Sayo, during the day, two residents and one UN source said. Last month the rebels took Goma, the provincial capital of North Kivu, in a similar lightning offensive. On Thursday, the group captured Kibambu and the commercial center of Katana as they advanced south along the N2 road. Airport employees said it had been emptied and in effect closed, with Congolese forces having removed an aircraft and other equipment. Troops were seen heading back to Bukavu in military trucks and on motorbikes laden with mattresses and other belongings. Corneille Nangaa, the head of the Congo River Alliance, a coalition of rebel groups that includes M23, said militias had been attacked and were defending themselves. Congo's president, Felix Tshisekedi, traveled to Germany to attend the Munich Security Conference on Friday as he seeks international support to end the conflict in eastern DRC. Of course this could lead to a spillover in the region, he warned the conference, reiterating his call for Rwanda to be held accountable for its role in the conflict. It is up to the international community to prevent this conflict spreading. He is not attending this weekend's annual African Union Summit in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, which is focused on efforts to halt the conflict, with the Prime Minister, Judith Suminwa Chuluka, taking his place. News 2, one of Europe's most wanted drug lords has been living in Sierra Leone for at least 2 years, spending time at nightclubs and house parties, sources have told The Guardian. Johannes Slagdekkers, a Dutch national, has been sentenced in absentia to decades in prison for offences including cocaine trafficking on a vast scale and ordering a murder. In September Dutch police said he remained missing and offered a €200,000 £170,000 reward for any information leading to his arrest. In a dramatic development last month that sent ripples through international law enforcement circles, Slagdekkers was seen attending a New Year's Day church service with Sierra Leone's presidential family, in footage posted on Facebook by the country's First Lady. Reuters, which verified the footage using facial recognition technology, quoted sources who said he had been benefiting from high-level protection in Sierra Leone, one of a number of West African transit points for cocaine trafficking from South America to Europe. Responding to the footage, Dutch prosecutors said Slagdekkers had been living in Sierra Leone for at least 6 months. But Slagdekkers' presence can now be dated back to at least December 2022. Multiple sources told The Guardian that he was present at a New Year's Eve party that year at the Mamba Point Resort in the capital, Freetown. The testimony corroborated footage that has been circulating in Sierra Leone of a man who resembles Slagdekkers involved in a fracas at a nightclub. Analysis of the footage showed it had been filmed at Mamba Point. At one point the words Happy New Year 2023 can be seen on a screen in the background. Sources also placed Lagedeckers at a house party hosted by a popular Lebanese couple in the Toka Beach area in December 2023. Footage from the party shows a man resembling Lagedeckers in attendance. Sources said Lagedeckers has been in a relationship with Agnes Bio, a daughter of Sierra Leone's president, Julius Maada Bio. Lagedeckers and Bio were sitting next to each other in the church service. Footage from 1 January this year. Bio is the president's daughter from a previous relationship with Zainab Kandeh, Sierra Leone's consul to Morocco. She serves as an alternate representative of Sierra Leone on the UN Security Council. The Dutchman was also present at Maada Bio's farm in his hometown of Tyne during a visit in 2024, according to an official in the presidency who spoke anonymously. Footage of the man resembling Lagedeckers has been in circulation showing him being cheered by villagers as he bent to harvest rice. Lagedeckers, who has assumed numerous aliases and nicknames, including Boljos, was sentenced in absentia by a Rotterdam court last June to 24 years in prison for 6 drug transports totaling 7,000 kilograms of cocaine, an armed robbery in Finland, and ordering the murder of an associate. He was also given a 10-year sentence in absentia by a court in Belgium in September over an attempt to smuggle drugs. News 3, Adrian Simonkas had been paddling for 2 hours in the calm but icy seas of the Strait of Magellan, off the coast of Chilean Patagonia, when something massive emerged from the water and dragged him under. I saw dark blue and white colors before feeling a slimy texture brush against my face, the 24-year-old told The Guardian. I closed my eyes to brace for impact, but it was soft, like being hit by a wave. In an incredibly rare turn of events, Simonkas had been sucked entirely into the mouth of a humpback whale. He closed his eyes and held his breath. When its mouth closed around me and pulled me down, I felt like I was in a whirlpool, lying down and spinning around, he said. For a few fleeting moments, his fate was in the jaws of the 40-ton cetacean. If it had eaten me, I would have died. There was nothing I could do about it. The terrifying ordeal lasted only a few seconds. Before he knew it, Simonkas felt himself being pulled up to the surface by his life jacket. Unhurt but shocked, he called for his father, who was paddling alongside him, and who had captured the incident on the 360-degree camera mounted to his raft. The video has since gone viral, prompting a wave of global commentary playfully comparing Simonkas to figures including Pinocchio and Jonah. But it has also fueled some misinformation about whale behavior, causing concern within the scientific community. Humpback whales have a small esophagus and feed on small prey, small fish, krill, so they could not devour or swallow a human, said Maria José Pérez Álvarez, a marine biologist at Universidad de Chile and base Millennium Institute. She added that humpback whales do not have teeth, but rather brush-like plates they use to trap and filter their prey. It could not have bitten him either, she said. Although Simonkas was unharmed, Pérez Álvarez cautions that human-whale interactions should be avoided at all costs. A humpback whale is around 18 meters long. It could have hit him hard with some part of its body, even if unintentionally, and the person could have been injured. Kayakers in the area have also urged caution. Guillermo Meza operates a company specializing in kayaking tours and worries that Simonkas had been too far out at sea. I would never have gone that far into the open sea on an inflatable raft, he said. He also warned that the two men had been far too close to the whale. We advise maintaining distances of more than 100 meters, and if they get close to us, we stay completely still, he said. Chilean law stipulates that legal sighting distances must be at least 100 meters from any whale. Simonkas and his father are both wildlife and outdoor enthusiasts, and Simonkas maintains that neither saw the whale nor intentionally approached it. The sea was very calm. We were reaching the end of the bay when the whale appeared, he said. I didn't see any schools of fish or any type of strange movements. The whale lunged from behind.
Hey! Ya, vente, vente. Tranquilo. tranquilo, agarra el bote, agárralo, tranquilo, agárralo. Agárralo, agárralo.
Sí, yo pensé que me había comido ya y que me había tragado, pero ya cuando salí entendí que claro, probablemente era por curiosidad que se había acercado la ballena o quizás como para comunicar algo.
No lo veo, ni veo el bote, entonces me sorprendí, me preocupé. Y después veo que sale a la superficie y después de él sale el bote a la superficie y después veo una parte del cuerpo de la ballena. Tranquilo, tranquilo.
News 4, for 2 days and 2 nights, Ronalyn Carbonell and her 4 children clung to the roof of their home as a huge storm raged around them. With the wind battering her village of Rizal, about 10 miles east of Manila in the Philippines, and water swirling through the rooms below them, they had no choice but to wait, hoping that someone would come to rescue them and hundreds of their neighbors. We did not have shelter, we did not have food, we just had to wait for the government for 2 days, Carbonell said. It is not easy, no electricity, no light, we just wait for the sun to rise. The children were scared, we had never experienced anything like this. Carbonell was speaking to The Guardian as Greenpeace activists and youth leaders from the Philippines protested outside the oil firm Shell's headquarters in London on Wednesday, demanding accountability from major polluters and justice for all the loss and damage they have caused. The Philippines has always been hit by typhoons, but as the climate emergency has worsened, the storms have become more violent, with more destructive winds and floods. Last year, in a record-breaking typhoon season, 6 storms battered the country in just a month. The super typhoon Mani brought winds of up to 120 miles per hour and drove more than 650,000 people from their homes. In all, the storm season, supercharged by climate change, according to experts, affected more than 13 million people, destroyed lives and livelihoods and cost an estimated $500 million. Carbonell, who is president of her local homeowners association, said the storms had grown much worse since she was younger. When I was a child I did not experience this type of strong typhoon, she said. We are scared but we are already preparing, we prepare food and medicines and water. A sofa belonging to Carbonell was one of the climate-wrecked household items put in giant glass boxes filled with water outside Shell's headquarters on Wednesday. The possessions, which also included a television, shoes and a teddy bear, had all been destroyed in the latest typhoon season. As Shell staff arrived for work, speakers played the sounds of children laughing, and people cooking or watching TV, which had been recorded in the Philippines. Those noises were then replaced with sirens like those used in the Philippines to warn people of impending floods. Activists then smashed the glass cases, allowing the flood waters to spill out in front of the building. Greenpeace UK's climate campaigner, Maha Darlington, said, "The world is near breaking point and it is oil and gas giants like Shell, who pocket tens of billions every year from burning fossil fuels that drive this climate chaos, that are to blame. It's time they coughed up and paid their climate debts." News 5, UK-based lawyers have spoken out about being targeted by the Chinese state and its supporters in a campaign of intimidation including surveillance, hacking of bank accounts and rape threats. The barristers, from Doughty Street Chambers in London, say there has been a coordinated and concerted campaign against them since they began acting for the jailed Hong Kong pro-democracy activist and media mogul, Jimmy Lai, 3 years ago. Gwilyn Gallagher KC said she had received threats via email and social media of dismemberment, rape and death, which have extended to her family in recent months. "I had a threat to rape one of my children because of my work," she said. "I don't know if that's just an individual or if that's someone who's state-linked. What I do know is that if you have a campaign which is led by state authorities to say this lawyer is not to be trusted and they're undermining the Chinese state by engaging in legal work with the United Nations, it sends a green light to its supporters to send material like that." As the leader of Lay's international legal team, Gallagher has been targeted the most, including hundreds of attempts to hack her bank account. There has also been so-called privilege phishing, attempts to seek to persuade those who are targeted to divulge sensitive information, which the Bar Council has also warned about. Sometimes it is through emails created to appear to have been sent by Gallagher, or her contacts or colleagues. On one occasion an email purporting to be from her was sent to all of the other casees in her chambers saying she had decided to resign because her work on the Lay case was putting all of them and their families in danger. I woke up in a hotel room to a whole load of messages saying, "Are you okay? What can I do?" she said. The team have also received WhatsApp calls which show up as being from colleagues when they are not. In March 2023, Gallagher and Jennifer Robinson, who is also on the Lay team, were followed around the UN office in Geneva by a man. In June 2023, a fellow barrister, Tatiana Eatwell, had a speech at the UN Human Rights Council interrupted by a delegation from China when she mentioned Lay. She said at a separate UN event they accused us of being criminals. It was deeply intimidating. Such behavior has been highlighted in the last two annual reprisals reports by the UN Secretary-General. Activity obviously emanating from the Chinese state has also included denunciations in government statements and its closely controlled media. Other targeting of the lawyers is not so easily attributable, but Gallagher said, "We think because of the coordination of the emails and the cyber attacks and the fact that they coincide with key moments in the case, we've good reason to believe that they're state-linked." News 6, the Australian National University, ANU, has been interrogated at a parliamentary inquiry for denying a student was recorded making a Nazi salute during a student union meeting. At an inquiry into anti-Semitism on university campuses on Wednesday, the Labour MP and chair, Josh Burns, was incredulous as to how the university came to that finding, after he looked at footage of the 2024 union meeting. What else was it? Burns asked the ANU Vice-Chancellor, Professor Genevieve Bell, going on to say he was completely astounded. The ANU Students Association, ANUSA, meeting in question was attended by around 500 people in May last year. It received widespread media coverage after video footage was circulated allegedly showing a student performing what appeared to be a Nazi salute and another allegedly mimicking a Hitler moustache. One student was removed from the online Zoom meeting, which included debate of ANU's ongoing pro-Palestine encampment and the experience of Jewish students on campus, because of their conduct. Bell told the hearing the incident was reported through ANU's disciplinary proceedings and an investigation was launched. It found there had not been a Nazi salute or a Hitler moustache, she said. There were a number of other pieces of that story that were not immediately clear, she said. The investigation, which was a thorough one and we do thoroughly investigate these issues, found there was not, in fact, an incident. Bell said the university did not discuss pieces of individual cases. She said multiple other pieces of evidence, of vision formed part of the inquiry and those items were not reported in news accounts. The Deputy Academic Vice-Chancellor at ANU, Grady Venville, conceded that she agreed with Burns at a superficial level, which was why a thorough investigation had been conducted. On a superficial level we have what appears to be a terrible anti-Semitic incident and it's completely unacceptable, she said. Burns replied there was no such thing as a superficial Nazi salute. It's either a Nazi salute or it's not, he said. The ANU was separately questioned during the inquiry as to why another student who had pledged their unconditional support for Hamas on ABC radio had been reinstated to the university after initially being expelled. Bell said the expulsion had been overturned on appeal. I am satisfied that the disciplinary process and the appeals process continue to work, but I also know those are processes that, like everything else, should be regularly reviewed and updated, she said. Asked by Burns if ANU would review or update their process on the basis the student appealed and was allowed back on campus after they glorified a terrorist organization, Bell replied that ANU regularly reviewed all its processes. She said the university would seek to balance academic speech and freedom of speech with psychosocial harm. And
was there any discussion of the 8th of May ANU Student Association General Meeting where students displayed Nazi salutes and a Hitler moustache online? Was that discussed in your meeting?
So the incidents that you refer to were reported through our disciplinary proceedings. There was an investigation of them, and it was found that that did not, in fact, had happened. So that was not, in fact, the finding of the disciplinary proceeding. It was not, in fact, found that there had been a Nazi salute or a Hitler moustache.
Really?
Yes.
There wasn't it on film?
There were a number of other pieces of that story that were not immediately clear, and the investigation, which was a thorough one, Mr. Burns, and we do thoroughly investigate these issues and take them seriously, found that there was not, in fact, an incident.
Sorry, I've just had a look online again of the vision.
Thank you.
And
it's really upsetting. I understand.
Yeah. I'll get through that. I'm more concerned about the fact that the Vice Chancellor just said that that was not a finding of a Nazi salute. I mean, what else was it?
Mr. Burns, as we've said in multiple other appearances in Parliament, we don't actually discuss pieces of individual cases, but the reality is we have a fulsome process that we work through here, which involves, as Grady has said, collecting multiple other pieces of evidence, multiple other pieces of vision that weren't made as part of those news accounts, pieces of interviews with people that were around those people at the time.
What piece of vision, Vice Chancellor, would rule that out from being a Nazi salute? I mean, I mean, it's being reported publicly. I am, please help me understand how that
and
was.
And that's all for international news. And coming up next, it's weather forecast that morning. In just about a few moments, we'll be right back. morning, and welcome to Weather Forecast Lads Morning, brought to you by the Australian Lads News Team. I'm your co-host, James Wandens 13, and I'll be taking you through today's local weather across Australia. Let's start with the weather in Sydney. Currently, Sydney is experiencing partly cloudy skies, with temperatures reaching around 24 degrees Celsius. Expect a high of 28 degrees Celsius this afternoon, and there's a 10% chance of rain later in the evening. Moving on to Melbourne, it's a sunny morning with a current temperature of 21 degrees Celsius, and a high of 26 degrees Celsius this afternoon. Very little chance of rain, just 5%. In Brisbane, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions with a temperature of 26 degrees Celsius, reaching 30 degrees Celsius in the afternoon. The chance of rain is 0. In Perth, expect clear skies today. It's currently 22 degrees Celsius and will climb to a pleasant 31 degrees Celsius. No rain in the forecast, and the air will be dry. Lastly, in Adelaide, the weather is partly cloudy with temperatures currently at 23 degrees Celsius, rising to 27 degrees Celsius this afternoon. Light breezes, and there's a 20% chance of showers later in the day. Looking ahead at the week, in Sydney, we'll see more sunny days with temperatures hovering in the low 30s. Melbourne will stay mild, with mostly cloudy days, but some rain is expected by Wednesday. In Brisbane, expect mostly sunny skies for the week, with temperatures consistently around the mid-30s. Perth will be dry and sunny with highs reaching the low 30s, while Adelaide will see some showers on Monday and Tuesday. That's all for today's Weather Forecast Lads Morning. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and be prepared for any changes in your local weather. Thank you for tuning in, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break with more updates. See you soon.
Welcome back to Australian Lads News Morning. I'm your host, First Galaxy Australian 2K10, and it's great to have you with us this beautiful Sunday morning. In today's news, we'll take a look at the latest from around the world and the local updates here at home. There are some interesting developments happening with Australia's economy, new scientific discoveries, and more. News 7, a Sydney nurse at the centre of a video chat showing two hospital workers allegedly making anti-Israel threats to an Israeli influencer has had their home raided after being taken to hospital due to welfare concerns, police say. New South Wales police confirmed officers from Strike Force Pearl executed a search warrant at a home on Friday night, as part of an ongoing investigation. A number of items were taken for further examination, police said. No arrests have been made. NSW police had previously said emergency services were called to a Bankstown home on Thursday night following reports of a concern for welfare. A 27-year-old man was taken to hospital for assessment, a spokesperson said in a statement on Friday. No further information is available. The Israeli influencer, Max Veffer, on Friday released what he said was the unedited version of the video involving two Bankstown hospital nurses. Police said on Thursday they spoke with the Israeli influencer who they said had agreed to provide investigators with an unedited version of the video chat. In a statement on Friday, police said they were aware an extended version had been posted online, however nothing has been directly provided to NSW police. Discussions between NSW police and the influencer remain open and ongoing. The shorter video posted to Instagram by Veffer earlier this week attracted widespread political condemnation, with the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, condemning the footage as sickening and shameful. Veffer posted a 2-minute video on Friday with the caption, "The police are asking me for the unedited version. I have nothing to hide. Here it is, and if they tell me where to send it I will send it to them." The video begins with the male nurse, Ahmad Rashad Nader, and Veffer greeting each other. When Veffer says he is from Israel, Nader replies, "I'm going to be really honest with you. You've actually got really, really beautiful eyes, but I'm so upset that you're Israeli. Eventually, you're going to get killed and you're going to go to Jahannam, hell." Veffer responds, "Why do you think I'm going to get killed? Maybe because I served in the IDF?" Nader replies, "That's definitely the answer, correct." Veffer then states, "That's the reason, I served in the IDF, what is the problem with that?" To which the female nurse, Sarah Abu Lebda, speaks off-screen for the first time, stating, "Because you killed innocent people, that's why." "I was protecting my country," Veffer responds. Abu Lebda asks, "So you kill innocent people to protect your country? What kind of soul do you have?" Later in the video, Veffer asks the nurses what they would do if an Israeli were to come to their hospital. Abu Lebda responds, "I won't treat them, I will kill them." Nader says, "You have no idea how many Israelis came to this hospital, and I sent them to Jahannam. I literally sent them to Jahannam."
I've been made aware this morning of a video circulating in New South Wales where it appears that a couple of health professionals in New South Wales Health uniform are indicating that they will not treat people from a particular country. Can I say how utterly disgusted and appalled I am at this video? It makes me sick to my stomach. As everyone behind me knows, it is the obligation of every single health professional to treat and care for whomever comes before you. The idea that you would single out a particular group in our community and indicate you wouldn't care for them runs against every single principle in our healthcare system. At a time of unprecedented anti-Semitism in our country, this is a particularly sickening video. I've seen comments from the New South Wales Minister Ryan Park, and can I say I endorse them 100%.
Those people subject to that investigation will not ever be working for New South Wales Health again. New South Wales Police through Strike Force Pearl have made their way out to Bankstown, and they will obviously be leading that part of the investigation, supported by information that they may require, obviously, from New South Wales Health and any other agencies such as...
That's all of Australian Labs News Morning. We'll be back in just a moment with more updates. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching. And good morning Sunday, and I see you tomorrow at 4:30 a.m. in Monday of Australian Labs News Morning. In just a moment.